Sup guys, today we're gonna learn the use of if else command, and for that purpose we're building a little lengthy program so that we can know the practical use of if else command. So the if else statement. So let's just begin with we have here is int, and we have these variables, the rows nod, rp, p, and tor. So that is how you can write these variables in a row by comma separated. So and then we have float, pwt, and gt, and then we have the character, the char, that is gn. What is gn? You'll know it later. So that is the length is 20. So we're building a hotel management system, so, or you can say a hotel receipt system, or that software we are building for a hotel. So if your boss comes in and says you, hey, Talha, why don't you build a hotel management system, a software for us, so that we can buy it from you. So please build a software for us. So we're gonna have that opportunity for us, and we're gonna build software for them for C in C++ language. So these are the rows. We have defined rows, the variable type int, and nod, that is the number of days, and number of days is right here. I've written this comment so that you can understand. rp is the room price, tor is the type of room, p is for payment. So I've not written these variables long. I've written the short form because that's more efficient when you are using formulas. So these are pretty much your variable types, the int, the float, and the char. So pwt stands for payment with tax. We're going to include tax information also. So if a guest comes in and says, hey, I want to buy I want to not buy, I want to what do you say, I want to stay for one night or one day. So we're going to include the government tax in that. So this is payment with tax, or pwt stands for payment with tax, and this thing is the gt, the government tax. So gt stands for government tax, government tax. So gt is our government tax. Okay, so after that we're gonna see out, please tell us your name, and then we're gonna type in cin and these little extraction operators, because they're extracting the data. They're gonna prompt the user to enter guest name, and please tell us your name, and store in this variable gn, that is 20 character long. So the name cannot be longer than 20 characters long, or you can set this to 30 or 40 or 50, whatever you like. So names cannot be normal names cannot be longer than 20. So okay, so after that, after you have typed in cout and then cin, what you're gonna do is you're gonna see in this cout these bunch of lines over here. So what is this? This is enter the code number of room type given below. You're gonna give a heading, and then we're gonna define our superior. So superior is for $600, and code number is 1. So the user will see this menu on this screen and decide whether he or she wants to have the superior room, the ultra room, the economy plus room, or the economy. So and the user also have to select the code. So if let's say if the user wanna one, if the user wanna stay for a night in room 1, so the user is going to select 1. So after that, what we're going to do next is cin type of room. So cin these extraction operators, and tor. So tor is for type of room. As you can see, we have our program will prompt the user to enter the type of room. So basically it's gonna give this heading and a little menu, and then TOR, and that TOR value, the type of room value, will then store in this variable TOR. So after this, what we're going to do next is this if else command. So in the next block of code, we're gonna like type this the if else command. So this is our if else command. So I'm just gonna, okay, so if, just gonna create some space so you can understand. If, and then the in the parentheses open, and TOR equals to 1. And now this thing is important. Now these double equals to sign, what these double equal to sign means is that this is basically like an equation. This is not the assigning. We are not assigning the value TOR. So TOR equals 1. We are checking the if command, that if TOR equals 1, do this. Else if TOR equals 2, do this. Else if TOR equals to 3, do this. And else if TOR equals 4, do this. Okay, so and if this is our default if, so else cout wrong input, enter the correct value. So what is this is the room price. This block of code is basically the room price. So what is right here is and one thing I want to stress out, the brackets. Take care of the brackets and these brackets also. So these brackets matter a lot. So the use of the bracket is very important. Even if one bracket is less or more, your compiler is going to freak out and give you an error. So you don't want to do that. So this is pretty much the syntax of using the else if with if else and the default else. So this I hope you understand about this double equals to sign. This is not that equal to, the single equal to sign. This is not the assigning one, this is the equation one. So the left hand side equals right hand side. So we're basically using this if command. So well, you'll get to know about if you're not clear about this now, you're definitely you will in future, because we're gonna use this a lot. So for now, for the newcomers or the new let's say new programmers, this double equals to sign is gonna worry you. I hope it will not do it. So just remember, this double equals to sign is the equation one, and the single equation to sign, the single equal sign is the assigning. We are assigning the value. So in this case, we are not assigning the value, we are just making a decision. So and after that we have see out that default input is if the user does not input like one of these, because what we have here is 1 2 3 4, and what if the user enters 5? So 5 is basic, definitely the wrong input. So our program will prompt a warning message, or like a message that a wrong input, please enter the correct value. So after that block of code, what the next block of code would be, cout enter the number of days, and this is pretty much our next part of program. So our program will prompt this message, enter the number of days you want to stay in. So then it's gonna prompt the input. So our program will prompt input for the user and store the NOD, number of days value, in this variable NOD right here. So the next block of code will define the formula. So this is the most important block you want to focus on. So this is pretty much your formula. Okay, so now this P is the payment, the N is the number of days multiplied by room price, and this GT equals P, the payment, divided by 100. And notice that these are the normal brackets, the parentheses, and the followed by this multiplication sign, and then 5, because this 5 we're charging 5% tax. So for charging 5% tax, we're gonna multiply this by 5. So GT would be P, the total payment divided by 100 and multiplied by 5. And then notice that semicolon is very important for everything. And what in this comment is I've written in is the order of precedence. Like the first precedence goes to this remainder sign, this percent sign. So and the second goes to this divide sign, the forward slash, and the this is pretty much the first preference, like the number one priority. In if in any formula, C++ gives these three operations in the number one priority, and the plus minus are on the number two priority, or the second priority. So this is pretty much the thing I want to stress out, and this is 3 divided by 2. So this percent sign, um, what this does is okay, the it basically throws out the remainder. So if like you like 3 divided by 2, and then 3, you type in 3% 2, so it basically gives you the remainder of 3% 2, that is of course 1. So 3 divided by 2, what if you do it like on paper, 3 divided by 2, so 2 1 is the remainder. You can do it on paper and pencil if you're getting confused. So it's pretty simple. The remainder of 3 divided by 2 is 1. So this percent sign will show the remainder, and this divide sign will show the quotient. Quotient. Am I right? Okay. So this is pretty much I wanna stress you out. So I know this will confuse you a bit, but in a bit like in future coding, it will definitely become easier. And so this next block on the 37th line, this PWT, the payment with tax, equals payment and the government tax, the GT. So this is the tricky part of the program. You wanna stress this on. If you're not getting it, rewind the video again and watch it again, so you're gonna have a clearer picture of what this formula is about. So after this formula, okay, so what is the next thing? The next thing is this little cout thing. So this is our next line of code, a little display that we're gonna create. So this will probably be our receipt of our program. So after you've typed these little display to make it more beautiful, or let's say a more catchy sort of receipt. So what we're gonna do next is, and I promise you guys this one is the last part of the program, so we're gonna see out this block of code. So see out guest name, and then see out the GN, that is the guest name. So it will see out the guest name you've typed in way above your program over here. So this thing is okay, so this thing is like indirectly or directly linked to this thing. So it took you your name back ago, and then it kind of returns your name. So it's basically help you to like review your name. So the guest name, and then the type of room, and then it displays the TOR, the type of room we are selected long back ago, and the number of days, it displays the number of days you have selected above, and then the payment in dollars, and then it sees the payment with tax, of course. And then we have a little note, that note 5% of government taxes included in your payment, so your customer does not freaks out, or kind of become sad that, hey, why my payment is a bit more than the payment it has to be. So we'll display this message, so that hey, sir or ma'am, 5% of government tax is also included in your payment. So, and then finally the nice little message, text that thank you for staying with us, please come again, and then this little steric, that little piece of decoration, and finally the return 0, and then our body of the function, that is, don't forget this thing. So hopefully we built this program and we don't have any errors. So what I do this is, if there are larger programs, I do not build and run. I first do it build, and it kind of like takes 1 second to build, and then I run. If I go build and run, it sometimes like takes a bit while. So it depends on your computer. Basically, I'm using this Core i5 and I'm on a laptop, of course, so laptop does not equals the performance of PC, of course, so that factors also count. So I'm gonna build this thing and I'm gonna run this thing. So yes, now what do we have here is, I think full screen was better or not. No, it just came out of this full screen. So now is, please tell us your name. So our name would be TALHA, and enter the code number of room type given below. Superior is for $600, code number is 1, and ultra is for $500, that is code number 2, and economy plus is this. So we're gonna go for, of course, superior. So we're gonna type 1 and hit enter, and enter the number of days. Let's say we wanna stay for 1 day. Okay, and then it's print out. Guest name is Talha, type of room 1, number of days 1, payment with tax is $630. In dollars note, 5% of government taxes included in your payment. Thank you for staying with us, please come again. And our program ends there. So let me just review once again. So what we did was, we included this iStream using namespace std. We defined these things, the variables, and then we see out this message, and after that we ran this, focused on this block of code and see in the type of room, and then the basic if else command we used, and then we see out this warning message. We can also add like a warning in here, like warning or error, something like that. So we can create our own error message. Error, wrong input, please enter the value. So you can also do that, and see out number of days, and see in NOD the formula block, and then the little display block, and then after that this displays our whole values and displays, of course, the calculation. So this display is, it's basically this, we have created this display because of just only for this one, this line of code, the 50th line of code. So this is basically what we want. We want the payment with tax. We want our program to calculate on mass scale. So okay, so thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna give my thanks to my friend Samad, who helped me out to code this. We built this program in our university, so it was our assignment, so Samad also helped me out, so thanks Samad for that. So hopefully guys enjoy the video, and see you guys in the next video.